Hey, welcome back, everybody. Today's March 16th, 12:17 p.m. It's Monday. It's a little snow on the ground, and we're continuing to progress in our necessary matters. We're starting to blend a few things together. We were making some headway in the federal case filings. I'm not going to bore you with the legal details. I'm still kind of learning as I go. So this is going to be just kind of a video journal for me and just kind of a good faith message for the judges that I'll be standing in front of. Hopefully we'll be able to appear remotely without an issue starting tomorrow. And, we're just trying to lay the groundwork for what we believe is a legitimate case that will not waste any of the court's resources or appear frivolous in any way to any of the judges that we appear in front of. And this is our, just kind of statement of good faith saying that we will do everything in our power to learn the nature of the proceedings as quickly as possible and appear before the respective judges in the way that is most deferential to them and respectful of their time and their proceedings. As I've mentioned before, I'm a United States citizen with the company Texas Movement International. Apologize for the light. It's going to go back and forth. But what we're trying to do is kind of show the higher federal court how the interference that we have encountered over the past several years has basically brought our company and myself personally to kind of a functional survival breaking point. We've had attempts at creating several banking relationships, not the least of which is J.P. Morgan Chase, where we are still under a manual review. Kane County Credit Union, who is denying us the notary journal for a document that we were in person to sign for with regards to an estate transfer. We're dealing with Kane County Probate under very limited resources, so much so that we have to ask for fee waivers to even get letters of office. And then, of course, we were dealing with the Cook County eviction proceedings, which had several flaws in the procedural arrangements and proceedings by not only opposing counsel, but various other interfering entities, even going so far as municipal actors. And now all those municipal actors have been put on notice. And as I said, we are not, we ran from Illinois in 2012 because of its unnecessary litigious attitude towards those who, sought autonomy and independence. But it seems that the Lord has brought us back here to at least raise these issues so that we can push so that these things don't happen to anybody else. I'm being deliberately vague because I don't want Hero by Texas movement to be something that is known for its constant court presence. I started Hero by Texas movement in May of 2023, and it was primarily supported by my previous, work with Texas Movement Performance. I started it in April 2015, Texas Movement, as just a, performance consulting company for high school, college, amateur, and professional athletes, as well as executives in the Highland Park, Dallas, Texas area. And then I moved to Sanders Fit Performance, where we rub shoulders with many professional athletes. And we were able to give our perspective from an engineering lens on how the body moved through a tensegrity structure. And we used well-documented resources and mentorship to fortify that philosophy. And we thought that that would have been a fine way to make a living as I continued my personal track and field career. I pursued an amateur slash professional career in from 2012 to 2015 alongside Xavier Ray Edwards, a former Nike athlete. I ran with a Nike kit without a Nike contract. And so Hero by Texas Movement is basically my attempt to outfit myself and that started in 2023. Unfortunately, July 19th of 2023, my mother passed away due to a heart attack. And there seems to be some discrepancies with the events surrounding that date. And the closer I get to that date and the exploration of the estate proceedings surrounding that date, the more resistance I get. And I'd like to document that I'm going through this eviction proceeding ever since March 5th and 6th, when I reached out to Kane County for letters of office, I've been repeatedly inundated with Cook County Sheriff, Rolling Meadows Police Department, wellness checks, as well as intimidating groups of officers coming to the door, social workers, trying to create a false narrative of mental instability when I have never struggled with mental health issues. I have never been uh, violently urged homicidal or suicidal. I shudder to even say those words in seriousness. I say things in jest all the time, but I have a documented history on YouTube of creating satirical comedy skits, which everyone in Dallas is very familiar with, which is a part of my Texas Movement Media persona. So I've always used humor and used social media platforms to let the outside world know about my personality and to give a template to the Kerala American diaspora here in the United States on, the full range of what they can do if they set their mind to what they want. Okay, and so here is, example of my business. Uh, yep, see Texas Movement International there. Even though that account has been since closed since last year, I had my first business account there at KCT. And so there should be no reason for a notary journal not to be made available to me, especially if I was there in person to sign the document. So that just shows me that the things happening with the estate of my mother are not being done in the proper way. And the reason that we have to take it to this higher court level, and the reason that the Northern District of Illinois has accepted my case is that we believe there's an opportunity to get to the bottom of this. Now, if it becomes too difficult for all parties involved, we can close the matter, and but it needs to be a sensible conclusion and one that is legally responsible for both myself, my family, my community, as well as the legacy of my mother. So, for all those who are um, concerned about what these proceedings might bring, I have proposed a potential resolution, and that resolution needs to be seriously considered in full, and no insulting uh, responses will be respected or appreciated, because all of my experiences over the last year and change here in Rolling Meadows have been documented. So as we go into the Cook County primary proceedings, um, the local actors, opposing counsel, management, the municipal actors, the county actors, the state actors, and as appropriate, the national and international actors have been put on notice. Texas Movement International is not large in scale, but we are complete enough as an organization to respond back to you. And I believe you're aware of that. And so, rather than put yourself through any more unnecessary stress, why don't we both pursue an off ramp that gives us both an outcome that is manageable? We've gotten to a conclusion point before, and I don't see any reason why we should not be able to do so currently. I don't want to escalate any more than anybody else does, but out of respect for my mother and out of respect for myself, children, it's not just your mother or your girl that you have the right to fight for. You have the right to fight for yourself and your dignity, regardless of who your parents are or where they come from. Okay? So, we're going to keep it under 10 minutes today. I've made my point. Those of you in charge, do with it what you will. Take that for what it's worth. Thank you.